Hi everyone, I am Krishna Kumar, the Managing Director of Videya Consulting and Analytics. So this program, The Voice of Resilience, is part of Videya Academy, where we want to uh, set precedents and give inspiration to people who are doing their graduation, who are about to graduate, and also mid-career employees who are finding it um, difficult in the current environment. And we wish to inspire them to bring a sense of community and at some point create a community which will not only help them grow but also the nation grow. So thank you. But today we have Sundar Vishwanathan. He is a very senior IT director with one of the big companies, and he has been a great friend and a source of inspiration for me. So he talks a lot about culture, collaboration, and resilience, and also he has experience of working with more than 230 full-time employees under him. So it's a big number to manage, and he has done it very well over the years. And he has an expertise in the 3P. And I would not take much time here, and I would let him speak on this. So, welcome, Sundar. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank
So,
you, Krishna. Great to connect with you and team over the conference call.
thank you. So, I will go directly into the topic, Sundar, and there are a range of things that we want to cover today, and let's see how the conversation goes. So I want to start with the first question. So personally, I have managed a group of 15 people at max, and I find it difficult myself. How you have managed a global delivery team of over 230 people in 5 countries at the same time. So how is it that you're managing people across time zones, and what is the biggest point of failure?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Krishna, to start with. I would say the biggest point of failure when managing the large global teams across time zones is not the time difference. Basically, it's the clarity difference, I would say. It's not the technology, it's not the capability, it's more of a culture and the silent misalignment and the assumptions, right? So everyone thinks they understand what to be delivered, but each geography interprets the outcome differently. So that's where the major thing, it's more of a clarity difference. And in this case, how I used to approach this problem statement or challenge is by just follow the sun clarity model, I would say. What I mean is we can have a three-way of that approach. One is having a single source of the truth, having a similar dashboard to look at, similar, the prioritize, and what is that joint success metrics. Second thing is the handshaking discipline. So every region ending their day by a proper handshaking. And last but not the least is the leadership overlap over a small forum and then bring it to the bigger forums. So the lesson in this global leadership is less about managing the time zones. It's more about the engineering clarity at the scale.
Great answer, Sundar. Thank you. So, can you walk us through a specific moment when this global alignment completely broke down?
Absolutely. We once had a critical release where the teams across US, UK, China, Hong Kong, and India, they have to deliver a deployment at one shot. But during the deployment, the integration failed. It's more of an integration because every team have done their work very well. But when it comes to the integrating the system, there was a gap. So what it means is everyone did good job on their perspective, but when it comes to the collaborating and integrating, that's where there is a bigger challenge we faced in one of the major integration when I was working for a banking client.
So what happened? What was the thought process? What was the triage? How did you resolve that issue?
Okay, in this type of crisis times, we have to switch from the managing that situation into taking control of the situation. That's what very important. So the triage or the three steps, I would say I have followed or I will be recommending to follow also. First of all, stop the noise. When there is a crisis, everybody will jump in and say, okay, what to do and all. So first, stop the noise and take the control of the situation. There's no parallel conversation has to happen. You have to take a control. That is number one. Number two, we have to focus on the outcome rather than pinpointing or blaming of the situation at that time. So everybody has to focus on how to restore, how to get these things integrated, right? The systems were hanging here and there. So brought everybody together and think through of the solution mindset. That is second point. Third thing is assigning a clear ownership so that everybody is knowing what is expected of them on that particular scenario and keeping the broader stakeholder updated very frequently. Because what I personally felt is when this kind of momentum happens, it's more, everybody will be looking for to know update what is happening. The moment the teams see the clarity, then automatically things will get a calmness. So I would recommend that during this time, the emotional noise is more than the real noise. So we need to give some clarity, regular updates, and bring the team together is the best way to handle it, and that's the way it was handled.
Great, Sundar. So we have discussed, I think, about the 3P approach. Where you have mentioned that you champion the 3P approach. So
Mhm.
3P is a project, process, and people. And how do you empower people when the client is demanding in a very ruthless project delivery that they are asking for? How do you manage the people?
Right. At the end of the day, we are all into the people business, right? So empowerment is giving the teams the control over how the outcome or how the success is achieved. So based on my experience with some of the great leaders, managers, or mentors, the leaders don't choose between a project and the people. So when these kind of timelines are very aggressive, and that is where every project is demanding nowadays, right? We are running with a stringent timeline. Everybody is asking for more with less. So the first part of this handling is we have to create and provide a clarity of the priorities for our team. That is the first and foremost. The clarity is the new word or new world now. Second is the psychological safety, I would say, so that the teams can rise if there is any risks or issues upfront instead of hiding them. The third thing is enabling the people and providing the authority to perform. So That is the way this can be handled. And once if the people are empowered, automatically the delivery will start happening.
Great. So, has there been any pushback to a particular client so that you could protect the honor of the team? So, anytime when you put a team as the priority versus the client, has there been any such scenarios?
Yes, most of the times. So we are working in a very challenging or demanding environment, and irrespective of the industry or irrespective of the clients, this is a very common thing, right? So client respect the managers or the leaders who protect the delivery sustainability. That is what in my view. So the leadership is not about no, the control. It's about consistency. It's about the empowering the team. It's about believing in the team even if before they believe in themselves.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
you can openly tell the client that whether do you want to deliver fast once or do you want to deliver reliably for years. I would recommend second. So when we are open with the customer and tell the reality, they will also accept, but it will take time. So we have to give that space for them also to understand and bring the trust into the game.
great. So you mentioned the three P's process also is one of the three P's. So where does the process fit in here? So don't you think that too many processes kill the agility in the team and the delivery?
Yeah, I used to feel that the process is misunderstood. Bad process that kills the agility, but at the same time, the good process will protect the momentum as well as the energy of the team. So the process should it be in a such a way that it should not be too much as well as not too low. So process, if you put it in the right way, it will amplify and simplify the way we are doing it today. That's
Right.
what, in my view, I know um, the project will give the direction or the outcome. The process will give the stability and the scalability, and the people will create the excellence. That is what. So this has to be in the right mix.
Great answer. Um, so mm, going to the next question. So this is regarding the career of many mid-career professionals, and this is something that we are focusing on at Vidya as well. So for a mid-level project manager who feels stuck handling small accounts, what is the exact mindset that is required to lead, let's say, the size of project that you are handling, a $150 million project? So, what mindset is required for them to move to the next level?
Yeah, very good question, and that is very very relevant. That's where as leaders we have to help in enabling these managers. If you see, many mid-level managers focus on the execution excellence. It is more of a timelines, how many of defects, status reports, but the large transformation are not about these basic metrics. It is more about the business outcome, how much of risk appetite we have, and how much of executive confidence we are bringing onto the table. That is where no the business or the end client will look at. So we have to train or we have to elevate our managers also to think in this angle. That's where the mindset shift will come, and we have to think from the end business viewpoint, in my view.
Understood. Yeah. So, what was the? I want you to go back and think about the first multi-million project that you handled yourself, and what was the skill gap that you think was there that you have overcome over the years?
Right. So if you see honestly, being an IT project, I thought the technical mastery was enough. Ideally, it wasn't. The biggest gap was the stakeholder psychology. First of all, we have to understand the the different stakeholders whom we are interacting and what they look at. So when we initially I proposed some technical dashboard with these details, they didn't understand. And when I put a clarity by providing some data from the business angle, we have to talk their language. And when we start putting it right, then they started opening up. That gave the clarity and confidence that we are also thinking on their angle in terms of approach and in terms of solution. That's what I would say based on my experience.
Great. So now let's say at a VP or a CIO level, the conversations change completely. Okay. As we go up the ladder, the conversations are changing completely. So what do you think is the biggest mistake a mid-career manager is making when they are presenting to the higher ups?
Right. So if you notice what exactly happening is at times in the early days, I used to go for a presentation with some data points for these kind of senior level meetings. But the way they will be looking at will be totally different. We'll be going with some 10 different slides, 20 different slides. So to impress that, oh, I have so much of details to show it about the technical depth and too many slides, all those things. But in that review meeting, what they will look out is what is the risk and what kind of support or decision do you need from them. And third thing is what happens if you do nothing. If we go with these three things, because that is what they were looking at, and the time is very important for them. They want to know the exact point of what is the problem, what is the support required. We have to answer to the point. That's what we have to be well prepared before going to these meetings. um, Krishna, this is a very important stuff, and this is one of the things I'm also training some of my leads and managers to prep them, and it is also a kind of a shift in their mindset as well as shift in their the way of the thinking process also.
Great answer, Sundar. It's eye-opening for me as well. So thank you. And let's move on to the other end of the community that we are trying to build, the students. So students are obsessed with tech certifications right now. There are so many organizations offering certifications, and everybody is behind certification right now. So, from your experience, what is the non-technical skill that a junior developer would be needing so that his career is in the growth path, and let's say he wishes to be a director or a VP at some point of his career. So, what should be his thought process? And I mean, what should be the skill that is required other than the technical ones?
Very interesting question that is more relevant in the current situation also, because everybody is trying to do this certification, that certification, and all. Yeah, certification is important. Beyond that, the curiosity combined with the communication skills. This is the foremost important. Second, conceptual thinking. they have to see something from a big picture perspective and thinking from the solution aspect instead of, oh, there is a problem and pinpointing somebody. Instead of that, having a clear solution mindset. And the best investment, I would say, is they have to invest on themselves to groom their soft skills on business communication, stakeholder management. This is what very, very important.
Great.
And
So,
last but not the least, very, very important is the collab culture. This cannot not be taught. They,
yeah,
because no, even now with the machines started coming, you have to ask the right prompt question. Then only it will give the right answer. So that
right.
means you should be well collaborative with the people as well as the machines nowadays. This is a skill which they have to learn.
Yeah, true, absolutely true. So we at Vidya also are focused on culture, collaboration, and customer centricity. So these things will not go anywhere, no matter what happens. So thanks for that answer, Sundar. So let me ask you, if two freshers are sitting in front of you with the exact same certification, so what behavioral cue would hire one and you will reject the other?
Yeah, if two candidates sit before me, I will observe one thing on both of them for the first few minutes. I can call as ABC. A
Yeah,
is the attitude to learn. How is their attitude? B is being curious. How curious they are. And C is the clarity and the confidence in their speech. So based on that only, I will take the first call, Krishna.
great. So you have hired, I believe, lots of people in your career. So can you tell me what is the mistake that freshers make in the first 90 days that damages their reputation?
In simple way, I could say that they are trying to prove their intelligence instead of learning the system.
Mhm.
Say, for example, sometimes I used to hear from them that, oh, this process is outdated. We did it differently in our college or something. This is not the way the Gen Z will be working, way of working. So we are in a fast world. These are the things which will come. So even if you see, um, we don't, they have not sometimes not of much of a patience. I won't say it is uh, wrong or right because we got used to it, right? Even we started having reels, right? We started scrolling. We don't have patience to see beyond 5 seconds or 10 seconds, right? So the smartest people or freshers I have seen, one thing is they listen deeply in the first 2 to 3 months, and they have the very good appetite to learn the different systems, different process, and how they can create the reputation, because that is what I have seen another set of freshers um, who have demonstrated themselves.
Great. So
And I
let me
would
move on.
add one thing, Krishna. In
Yeah,
the current scenario, the way no, they cannot look at their seniors and check, okay, how it is working, because the students who are coming out of the college, they don't have a, they need to keep a new reference for them, because whatever the old reference won't hold good for them now because of
absolutely.
the way the AI is evolving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So let me move on to the next question. So now colleges teach agile in theory, and but in real world, be it banking or any enterprise IT, it is messy. So what does a fresher need to understand about agile and how it actually works in real life scenario?
Correct. So agile is becoming a buzzword now, right, in the AI world. I can call two things, right? In the agile world, these two terminologies is being commonly used. One is the epics and another is the user story. I can give you a different definition for this epics. um, if you see the Harvard University's Project Zero, they have given epics definition is: E is emotional quotient, P is physical quotient, I is intellectual, C is creative, and S is the spiritual. What it means is the spiritual is in Tamil they used to say நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் உலகத்தை நீ ஆளலாம். So
Yeah,
this is what the new thing they have to understand. And second thing is, instead of user stories, they should learn the art of storytelling. That is what the new definition in the agile world now, Krishna.
great. Uh, okay, let me ask. Agile requires moving fast, but enterprise and banking solutions, they have lots of compliances and they prevent you from moving fast. So how do you bridge that gap?
Right, very another important question at this point, the bridging that gap, right? So people think compliance slow down the agile process. Actually speaking, compliance becomes faster when it included early in the life cycle stage. So compliance should not be a gatekeeper; it should be a partner with us.
Right, got you. Okay. So now you manage multi-vendor engagements. So how do you enforce agile culture when half of the team belongs to a completely different company? Right now, this is happening across multiple companies. Some of the roles are entirely going away to a different company. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, this is a very typical scenario I handled when I was working in Hong Kong. Few years back, we have a multi-vendor scenario, and I was managing the different vendors at the capacity of the client from the role of a client. So this is where the leadership matters most. So some vendors may follow, some vendors may not follow. So we have to have align on few things very, very important. One, there should be a shared KPI or the metrics so that everybody understands that, oh, this is what the common goal we are hitting towards. And joint acceptance or a success criteria. This is very, very important. And third thing is we have to inculcate the culture that though we are working on different things, it is the same end goal or the same the program objective we are meeting. So that way client don't see the logos, they see the one outcome. That is what we have to know. It's a inculcating the culture because everybody wants to know show theirs. So we have to inculcate that it is a one objective, we all have to move towards it. That's where the collaboration and sometimes the strategic thinking concepts along with stakeholder management will play a vital role. That is a thing which we all have to learn.
Great. So one thing that you have mentioned is you are a very curious human being. And after over 2 decades in IT, what technology or trend you think makes you feel like a curious beginner again?
Very curious question for me. I would say the trust and the humanity is very much required in this Gen AI world. For the first time in our decades, what I have seen, and recently I heard one video from Nandan also, the technology, the way it is changing, it is like root and branch surgery is happening. So it's not just automatic, the just the work. It is augmenting our thinking and thought process. Everything is changing. So machines started learning on one side, and men have to start learning even more now. So that way, every prompt I used to admire that. whenever you give the same question, it used to give a different answer. That means different possibilities, new perspective. So I would say stay curious, stay hungry to learn new things. The best leaders I have seen is they are all permanent students. In Tamil, we used to say, கற்றது கைமண்ணளவு கல்லாதது உலகளவு. So that is what keeping me curious and interacting with curious people like you and many more. That is keeping me more energetic and keeping me even more curious now.
Thanks, Sundar. So, great answers, by the way. And so, how do our audience connect with you on, and how do they know what you are doing right now? You have mentioned that you are working on GCC fronts and IT transformation. So, how do they connect with you?
Great. I strongly believe leadership grows through these kind of conversations and mind sharing. So I'm active on LinkedIn. They can connect through LinkedIn. I started sharing my insights and my viewpoints on leadership, strategy, GCC, transformation. They can connect through LinkedIn. And if they are in Chennai, I'm happy to meet them for a cup of a coffee or a chai. Always the handshake touch is more better than the eye touch. So
Great.
to
Absolutely.
connect and do more of a mind sharing. So to conclude, I would say let's continue building more leaders beyond the careers, connect to the VPs because very important to empower the people and enable the people by building the right process, right level of process and tools which will make their daily life better, then automatically the project or program delivery excellence will happen. So focus and continuously collaborate. That's what I would say, Krishna. It's a great interaction with you through this podcast.
Absolutely, Sundar. Yeah, it was a great interaction, indeed, and bang on time in short and crispy answers, and to the point, and it is really inspirational. So, thanks, Sundar. Uh, Hopefully, we will be having more conversations at some point again. But thanks for this interaction.
Thanks, Krishna. Thanks for creating this forum. I'm very confident that this kind of forum will help many freshers who are going to take their first job, as well as the mid-level managers who has to elevate themselves, how they want to see a new way of working. This is very important. Thank you.
Thanks, Sundar.